Hi, I'm Erin, and I decided to do VEDA this year. I knew of a couple of the YouTubers that I watch that did VEDA last year during August and April. Is it VEDA or VEDA? I've heard it pronounced both ways. It looks like VEDA, but if you don't know what it is, it stands for Vlog Everyday April or Vlog Everyday August. Today is April 1st, so I thought I would start vlogging every day just to see what it would be like, because I am a single mom. I am an Uber driver, which is interesting. Being an Uber driver is something that's actually kind of interesting because I have a lot of weird, funny stories that I can tell about passengers that I've had in my car. I'm almost always coming home with some sort of story to tell my kids or to tell whoever, and I just thought, well, that might be something interesting to share on YouTube. So I think that's primarily what I'll be doing, because there's not a whole lot going on in my life that's all that interesting besides the Uber. That's probably a really bad thing to say, but it's true. You know, Uber is really interesting. It's a good way to make money. Obviously, I'm not, promoting them or anything like that. It's just me wanting to share my experiences. So, yeah, that's what I thought I would do. So I'm in my car, sitting in front of my garage because I'm about to go in the house, but I thought I would vlog out here because, for the most part, I'll probably be vlogging in my car since I'm talking about things that happened while Ubering. So is that a word? Ubering? I use it like it's a word, so let's make it a word. Ubering. So anyway, yeah. So I just thought, well, I'll do this before I run in the house and just kind of introduce myself a little bit. So like I said, I'm a single mom. I have 2 kids. I have a daughter who's turning 14 on the 3rd, so just 2 days from now. And I have a son who's turning 18 on Saturday, so just a week from now. And that's just crazy to me that they're growing up so fast. But, they're teenagers, and teenagers grow and learn and do so many things so quickly. It just passes by so fast, and I can't believe that my son is technically going to be an adult this time next week. So yeah, that's my story of my kids. Well, there's a whole lot more to talk about besides that, but I'm not trying to make this a long video, and I can be kind of chatty sometimes, so I'm going to try to keep that under control. And the reason I know that is because my daughter and I did a craft channel called Our Craft Table. And I'll link that below. But that's something I also want to get back to. So I'm hoping that VEDA is going to help me to become more disciplined with uploading things to YouTube so that I can just make sure that, I'm doing it on a regular basis and hopefully transfer that back into Our Craft Table, because that's what she and I really want to do. We enjoy doing crafts, and we really want to pick back up with the DIY channel that was. We haven't uploaded a video in over a year now, unfortunately. That wasn't just due to lack of discipline, though. There were a lot of really crazy things that happened last year, and I can get into that at some other point, because this is just a quick little introduction, or at least it's supposed to be. I'm looking and it looks like I'm already at about 4 minutes, so I don't want to keep it too long. But anyway, the point was that, it's something that I want to do, to use this as a platform for me to get used to being back on YouTube, and for the channel that I do with my daughter to start to get rolling again, because we really want to get that started again, because doing DIYs, it's just so much fun for us, and uploading those things to YouTube has always been fun too. So, oh, and we just recently got 100 subscribers on that channel, which is crazy to me because we don't even upload on there right now. But people keep finding our videos and they've been subscribing, so I appreciate that. So I want to be able to bring some good content to that channel. Let's see what else. There's not like a whole lot more to say right now. I'll, you know, maybe over the next couple of days give a little bit more information about me and what I do for a living besides Uber. But like I said, I do just want this to be sort of like a thing where I can tell the stories of all the interesting, funny, scary things that happened to me as an Uber driver, also being a woman Uber driver. I can tell you about one story just very, very quickly. It involved a man that I picked up from a bar one night. And I should preface this by saying that I very rarely drive at night. I just happened to be driving at night that night. And, but this is one of the reasons why I don't do it, because I don't like picking up people who are drunk or, you know, anything like that, because this is my car. This is my personal vehicle and I don't want anything happening to it. So, you know, I just prefer to work during the day where I'm taking people back and forth to work or running errands or whatever. So, you know, although I might enjoy a drink or three on occasion, I just don't want drunk people in my car. So he got in the car and I could smell the alcohol coming off of him. It was like 9 o'clock at night. So, you know, he probably went to happy hour or something like that, but he was an older guy. He was probably close to retirement age or something like that. So he got in the car and we were just making kind of pleasant conversation, and then he started asking me about politics, and I try not to talk about that because you know, I definitely have my viewpoints and I'm very strongly affiliated with my party, which is the Democratic Party. And I just really didn't want to talk politics with this guy. But he, you know, kept talking about it, and I just kept trying to, you know, kind of stay middle of the road, just saying, you know, things that were fairly neutral. And then he said, so, do you have a firearm in here? I was like, what? And he said, well, you know, you're a woman, you're out here late at night, and you don't know who's getting in your car, and, you know, you should really have a firearm in here. And I was just like, okay. And I'm not one of those people who, you know, think that you don't have the right to protect yourself or anything like that. You know, I've definitely been, without giving away, you know, too much, I've been able to take lots of classes in terms of self-defense and being able to handle a firearm, a couple of different kinds. So, you know, it just made my guard go up a little bit when he asked me that, because I'm thinking, why is he asking me? Is he asking me because, you know, he wants to know if I am vulnerable at this point? Does he, you know, want to know if I'm armed? So it just made me a little bit nervous. And, you know, he kept talking about it and kept saying, you know, you should really think about keeping a weapon in here. You really need to keep a weapon, because you don't know what could happen. All these people out here aren't looking out for your best interests, which is absolutely true. Absolutely good advice. That's very true. But he was saying it in a way that just made me feel a little bit intimidated. And it was at night, which again, I don't drive at night. And then we started going down the street where he lives, according to the GPS. and it's really dark. There aren't any street lights out or anything like that. And I'm, trying to find his house, thinking, okay, I really want to drop this guy off because he's freaking me out a little bit. And it just made me feel really, really, really uncomfortable. But he, I'm just sitting there kind of looking back at him in the back seat like, okay, I'm just going to kind of try to discreetly keep my eye on him while I'm looking around for this house address that I hope actually exists. And finally I did pull up to his house. And, he just said, well, just keep in mind that you really need to have a weapon with you. You really do. And don't tell anybody if you have a weapon or not. You just need to keep one with you. So I was like, okay, well, thank you. You have a good evening. And he kind of stumbled out of the car and, started walking up to his steps. And, he looked like he was okay at this point, kind of getting up to his house and walking up his steps. But I was just like, that was one of the weirdest conversations I have ever had as an Uber driver. It wasn't even a conversation. It was more him telling me that I definitely needed to have a firearm in the car, which again, I'm not going to go into all of that right now, but it was just so weird. And that's not even one of the weirder stories that I have, but it's just the one that I could think of off the top of my head. But anyway, I hope that was at least somewhat entertaining. I don't know if that story even really had a point, except for, I don't know. That story didn't have a point. It was just weird. My bangs look weird. But anyway. So anyway, that's it for today. I think I'm pushing about 12 minutes now, so I'm going to go ahead and stop this now. But this is VEDA Day 1, so be on the lookout for Day 2. Hey, thanks. Bye.